is it actually possible for someone who claims Christ in, I guess with the renewing of the mind in Romans 12:2 and also the fruits of the Spirit to actually be pro-choice? And I'm not talking about a baby Christian. I'm talking about somebody who has been in their faith and claims Christ. How is that even possible?
Well, I am going to come back in part 2 and do the big picture, in which I'm going to present you with a syllogism, which has a major premise and a minor premise. And not looking too forward to that right now, but just trying to narrowly answer your question. There's a major premise that I'm going to present to you that no one who claims to be a Christian can reject. But there is this minor premise out there that fits into the equation, which is the question as to whether the unborn is human. Okay? It's possible to be a Christian and to not know anything about the science of embryology and to be fooled. I'll be talking to you in part 2 about an abortion doctor by the name of Willie Parker. Claims to be a Christian. He has performed 10,000 abortions. And he says Jesus called him to become an abortion doctor and that he is doing God's will. And he wrote a 217-page book called Life's Work. Isn't that interesting? His life's work is ending life. There's not a single footnote or a single endnote. And he goes in there and he says, there's this other misconception that I want to clear up that Christians have, and that is that life begins at conception. And he goes in there and he lies to them. And they figure that because he's a doctor, right? He's credentialed. And because he claims to be a Christian, that's acceptable. So it's possible for them to be fooled on that. That's why it is our obligation. You notice I told you to do 3 things. What's the first thing I told you to do? You study up and you read 3 books and you learn about what the science of embryology has to say about the unborn. And then once that information is available to Christians, then there's no excuse. It's possible for them to be wrong for a little while. But if they're wrong for a long time as Christians, it's because the church is not doing its job. And I'll repeat it one more time, probably many more times before I leave today. Abortion exists with the consent of the church in America. We have to address it. Thank you.